on the ground or guava as the case may be, do you know the first thing you will do? You will look around to see if there's any avocado tree around there. If there is none, you will not pick it to eat. Ask anybody who grew up in the village. When you are going into the forest, into the bush to do whatever errand or assignment you've been given to do, and you're going and you see a fruit on the ground, the first thing you will do, the first thing you're trained to do as a child is to look around to see the tree that very fruit fell from. If you cannot find a nearby tree, that means it's not supposed to be there. Something is wrong. You quietly jump and you pass. These are the advantages of growing up in the village, so you understand. Reasoning in the village is not A, B, C, D. You are taught how to reason. Even by the folklores you're told. Akokombe, they talk about tortoise and fox and all the rest of it. It is so that you can acquire some semblance of reasoning as a child, so that when you see something, you can put things together. You can, because the first thing you do in the village, when you find a fruit that is not supposed to be there, the first thing you do as a child, even as an adult, is to look around to see if there is any tree that bears that fruit. If there is none, do you pick it? No, you don't. You leave it and you continue on your journey. It is not something you learn in school. Simple village common sense. Any day we open our minds just a little bit, just open our minds a little bit to absorb sense and reasoning, that day we'll begin to behave and reason like human beings. Let me ask you again, what are those pyramids doing in Enugu? Do you know you have pyramids in Enugu? Some of you, do you know? Where did it come from? Who are the only people that built such pyramids anywhere in the history of man? It is in Egypt. Did white, oh, I wouldn't say white, did Phoenicians come down to Biafra land to Enugu to build pyramid? No, we built it. Our ancestors built it. Why did they build it to the same dimension as the one you have in Egypt? Is to point you to where you come from. The same thing that I have lectured on this very platform over and over again. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. Example is Aguluzi Igbo. I keep explaining this and I explain and I'm wondering, are these the type of brains that will inherit Biafra? You go into Biafra and start reasoning like Alamajiri. So you cannot on your own sit down and reason and think things through before you open your gob to utter garbage. Number one assignment, please. For all of you talking rubbish as always, you talk crap, talking nonsense because you're foolish. Go to Enugu and you will see the pyramids. And then whilst you're there, ask yourself, how did these pyramids come to exist here? Who built them? From that day, your stupidity will begin to clear. You'll be amazed. Now, first of all, this evening, I want people to please go and Google. Go to Google, I beg of you. Go to Google, I beg of you, some of you. Go to Google this very evening and you will see Wikipedia and the flag of Nigeria. The flag of Niger area on Wikipedia. Simply go on Google and you type in flag of Nigeria, 1914 to 1960. Very simple, something you can do. This information is there for everybody to see, but you see it, you don't reason. The essence of what we are doing here is with your brain, and then your brain will connect with your tongue, so that when you open your mouth to speak, your mouth will be speaking what your brain articulated that your eyes saw. That is what makes you a human being, or else you're a goat, an animal. You're a chimpanzee. Allow me to repeat. When your eyes see something, as Obasanjo quite said, that your eye will convey that message to your brain. Your brain will now interpret that very message and then send signal to your tongue, your mouth. And once your tongue is ready to speak, your mouth will open and you begin to talk. That is how human beings reason and that's how they behave. Now go to that map. Flag of Nigeria. Please publish it. Flag of Nigeria 1914 to 1960. Now, listen very carefully, please. And I'm going to read it for all of you so you can follow it very carefully. First of all, once you see this very flag that Britain designed, you ask yourself, what is the Star of David doing on a flag of a people that actually hate Jews? Britain. Britain hated Jews so much that they never wanted Israel to be free. Britain fought on the side of Jordan to destroy Israel in 1948. Some of you don't know that. I'm telling you core history tonight. That the history of British suppression of the people of the book did not start today. Britain were bombed out of Israel. Bomb. The Israelis used bomb to drive them away. Britain Britain had what was called the Palestine Mandate. Their job was to stop the creation of Israel. Do you know that? Some of you don't read, you don't research. It was the job of Britain. The same mandate that Satan gave to Britain in Biafra, Satan gave Britain the same mandate in Israel. Satan brought Britain and said to Britain, you must sit here, you must give this land to Arabs. Are you aware of that? So some of you don't know, but I will teach you this evening. Now we read. The flag of Nigeria between 1914 and 1960 was a British blue ensign. British designed it with a green Star of David, green, to signify the fertile lands of Biafra. They said that our FM is now working in the land of Biafra. The criminals who we are holding on to it, they have allowed it to go. Now listen, I will repeat. The flag of Nigeria between 1914 and 1960 was a British blue ensign with a green Star of David. Now, is Britain a Jewish state? Now, I'm just asking the idiots. Is Britain a Jewish state? If the answer is no, then ask yourself, what are British people? It's off again. They said it's off again. It comes and it goes. They're playing with it. But we must continue all the time. People should go to the app, please. The app is working very well. People should go to the app. What I've given people asking foolish questions. Your number one assignment is I'm trying to weave a web here for you. Your number one assignment is to perform a pilgrimage. Please go to Nsude, go to Udi, and go and look at the pyramids that our ancestors built. And then ask yourself, where? I ask you again, where do you have such pyramids? It's in Egypt. So now the next question is, did the Egyptians come to Enugu State to come and build pyramid? Then now you are going to answer that question, not me. That's number one. I want to establish what I call biblical link between Biafra and Israel. Biblical, that your two naked eyes can see. Although some of you are with your foolish brain, you cannot reason, at least your two eyes can see. Go to Enugu, you will see it. That was part of the reason why Enugu was chosen. The other one I will not tell you, because you cannot comprehend it. You can't understand it. Ask yourself, what is the Star of David doing? Are British people, are they Jewish? Are they from Israel? But Britain put this very star there. Where did you find the star? That is a very simple question. Britain, where did you get this Star of David that you put on this Nigerian flag? Mind you that Nigeria contains the south and the north, encompassing the whole of Biafra. Now listen very carefully. It was later changed to St. Edward's Crown 1953 with the white word Nigeria under it as a red disc. It was adopted by the colony and protectorate of Nigeria following the amalgamation of the South and the Northern Protectorate. Are you following very carefully? The colonial flag of the zoo was adopted in 1914 following the amalgamation of Southern and Northern Nigeria. It was first suggested by the first Governor General of Nigeria, Sir Frederick Lugard. So Lugard knew where we came from, but they said we have no history. And please, tonight you must pay attention. Listen, open your ears and listen. Write anything that is confusing, you write it down. Go back later on to go and interrogate it. You'll find the answers to it. It was adopted by the colonies. Lugard started the whole thing. They asked Lugard, why did you do this? He said, it's a symbol of the unification of Nigeria because of the seal of Solomon. which was associated with the native Igbo Jews. Lugard said, Igbo Jews, Lugard. Almost say, I pledge to Nigeria, my country. I'm a proud Nigerian. The person that created you a nigger said the reason why I am putting the seal of Solomon or Star of David, as they call it, on this flag here of British colonial Nigeria is because this particular star, according to a white man before 1914, but unveiled in 1914, when some of you have not been born, some of you, even the Alamajri that impregnated some of you, your mothers, during the war, have not been born by then. They live. Are you listening very carefully? I want to open your skull so you can reason. Because when it comes to education and research, I don't think that apart from Princeton Library in the USA, I don't think anybody can compete with us. To be honest with you, I don't think they can. I'm not being arrogant. I don't think you can. Some of you are not educated enough to stand and to debate. You're not learned. And we're not learned. How can you reason properly? I hope you're following. Ask yourself this question. Why would a white man who is not Jewish, a white man who is not circumcised, what is he doing with the Star of David? And some of you are so foolish. You don't know that this very Igbo Jewish Star of David on the flag was done in 1914. Israel only adopted this Star of David in 1948. Are some of you brainy? 1914, 1948, which one is older? Who is copying who? I don't know if their brains are now beginning to open up a little bit. Who is copying who, I ask you? 1914, a white man, Britain of all people, that hates the people of the book so much. Their job is to stop. I have proven it to you now that the job of Britain is to stop the light of God from shining on this very earth. The same thing they did. Ask Britain, did you go to Israel to stop Israel from emerging or not? Britain, who had the Palestine mandate after the Second World War? Britain, did you vote for Israel to stand or not? The answer is no. Britain, was it not British officer class that fought on the side of Jordan to decimate and destroy Israel? In 1948, did it work? 1967, they came again. The Yom Kippur. Have you forgotten? No, we don't forget because our library is always open. And this night, we are educating people. Nkuzi education. Because people are daft. And the reason why I spend time is because I don't want our people to be like zoo animals, Nigerians, who don't reason, people who cannot reason. It doesn't matter how opposed I am to an idea. This is one thing about black people. I may be opposed ideologically to an idea, but once you begin to lecture me and tutor me and I see sense in what you're saying, I follow you. The thing about black people is, I don't want to sound as if I've considered. So because I'm going to keep arguing blindly. That's why people fight in beer parlor. You don't know that. Now listen again, very carefully. I hasten to add, very carefully. It was a white man, the white man that created the zoo that some of you are dying for today, Frederick Lugard. Then he was not a lord, he was a Sir Frederick Lugard.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you via Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chinedu from Olo province of Biafra land, and we are here live and direct. Today is the 15th day of April 2023. Today is Saturday. Tatabo Obochi Orie. Therefore, without taking any more time, I will hand over the platform to the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Chika Edoziem. Mazi, please, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu. I believe you can hear me as well.
Not only me, the whole world is hearing you to the four corners of this planet Earth. Go on, please.
Wonderful. Good evening, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom, men of goodwill and good conscience. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to you, wherever you may be at this very hour, depending on your time zone. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olo province of Biafra land. And by the mercy and grace of Chukwu Kikabiyama Prumiyenine, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Before I go on, let me as well bring greetings to all of you from the supreme leader of this great movement, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We all know him, that irrespective of his personal challenges, no matter and notwithstanding any physical pain he may be going through, he always has the wider family of IPOB in his heart and in his thought and in his prayers. And as he has us in his prayers, as he has us in his thoughts, same way I will enjoin all of you tonight to unceasingly continue to commit Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the hand of Chukwu Kikabiyama Prumiyenine. And of course, in the hands of our ancestors, that they may continue to keep, strengthen, and envelop him with their spirit, so that this journey which heaven itself brought him out, he, Oyendu, will accomplish it to the glory of Chukwu Kikabiyama Prumiyenine. Yes, we are aware. We are aware. We've heard those of our legal representatives that have visited him of recent, a couple of days to be precise. They have brought concerns to us regarding his health, but we trust Elohim that he that has kept him well from the beginning that he was called for this very assignment will continue to keep him until the end, which is the freedom of the people of heaven, of the children of Chukwu Abiyama, and the liberation of the land of Biafra. we must continue to trust in Chukwu Okike Abiam. Now, we are aware that a lot has happened in these past months. I mean, actually, from the beginning of this year, a lot has been going on, and within the zoo enclave itself, and of course, within the great IPOB family, as it concerns our struggle and our movement for the liberation of our land and our people. What I can assure Biafrans from the onset, this very night, is whether they hear our voice or not, they must be assured, in fact, they should be rest assured, that the DOS, the Directorate of State of the Indigenous People of Biafra, the leadership of this great movement, which our leader Onyendu Kano put in place, is leaving stone unturned. We are not relenting in any manner in doing what has to be done, what must be done, what needs to be done, what should be done to ensure that our objectives, which remained same as always, are both fulfilled. Our immediate objective, as I have always informed Biafrans, is to ensure that Onyendu rejoins us, the family that he has left for going to 18 months and counting now, and of course rejoin us in order to continue the battle forward and to continue on the work and the mission which heaven laid upon the hand and head of our leader, Onyendu Mazi Kano. And of course, our second objective, the most, one of the, well, I wouldn't apportion importance to both of them, but both are as important. One is as important as the other. The other objective we have is that Biafra must come. Biafra must be restored, and that under our watch. Under the watch of this generation. This battle, after seeing what we have seen these past 3 months, this battle is not one that we can afford not to be victorious in it. This war is not one that we can leave for our children to fight. Because if we do not accomplish the objective of freeing our people and our land, you can be rest assured that our generations and our children unborn will remain forever slaves in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. But Chukwu Okike forbid, heaven forbid that should be the case. Heaven forbid that we will not accomplish this very objective of a free, independent, and sovereign Biafran nation. We must accomplish it. First of all, I want to remind Biafrans of what is coming next month. What we are known to do in the month of May, 30th of May to be precise. 30th of May is the Biafran Heroes and Heroines Remembrance Day. And on this very day, we remember those who have gone fighting for our liberation. We remember men and women who laid down their lives that we who are still alive must continue on this battle and on this journey and honor their huge sacrifice, their ultimate sacrifice, their supreme sacrifice. We must honor that sacrifice which they have made with the victory of a free Biafran nation, of a sovereign Biafran nation, of an independent Biafran nation. And on the 30th of May 2023, we will observe this very day as we have always done in the past. In Biafra land, there will be a total ban of the hearing nothing. Morning until the day. For us to have a retrospection of the journey so far, with prayers for the departed family members of this great movement, in the genocide that was carried out against the Biafran people in the 1967 to 1970. Of course, we know, those of us who are alive today, we are witnessing a repetition of history in our lives. Our people are victims of unprovoked killings and murders. Our people's properties are targets of unprovoked hatred and jealousy and envy all over the place in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. That is why I said that this generation, this battle is not one that we will leave for anybody. And heaven is with us. And therefore victory shall be ours. On the day of our Heroes Remembrance Day, heroes and heroines, of course, our people should prepare to buy a kola nut, one kola nut on that very day. That kola nut, we shall also use it up as a point of contact with heaven and with our ancestors. We must pray to them, committing our struggle, committing our land, and of course, it is my belief that, of course, our leader Onyendu Mazi Kanu will be with us as we do this year's May 30th Remembrance Day. And that same kola nut as well we will use to thank heaven, to thank Chukwokike for bringing him back to us and for strength so that he will continue to lead us to freedom and to liberty. There is a very topical issue that is going on as we speak. And this topical issue emanated as a result of the concluded selection process that took place in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. I'm not going to talk too much or waste much time on that aberration that they call election. But the fallout from that election is what I will touch upon very briefly. We, of course, and our leader has said it without time and number. He has shouted on this very platform, this hallowed Radio Biafra platform, for our people to look back homewards. In fact, Onyendu Mazi Kanu took this message from where our eternal leader Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu left that message. We could remember that he was the person that opened what is now known as Trade Fair Market in Festac, I believe in Festac area of Lagos State. And when they called the general to open this place, a man of valor, a hero, a warrior, shed tears. He shed tears because he has seen what will happen. And he was wondering why our people could not take this development that they are about, or they have already made in Lagos State, why they will not take it down to Biafra land, where it will be safe. But we know that is history for now, and we know what is happening. It is in the same vein that I wish to enjoin Biafrans in diaspora, and by diaspora this time I mean those in Nigerian diaspora. Whether you are in the western region of the zoo, or the northern region of the zoo, or the central region of the zoo, your face must turn homeward to our homeland, to Biafra land from tonight. Your face must turn homeward. At least you must begin, if you have families, you must begin to make arrangements to make sure your family are safe in Biafra land. There is no part of the zoo as we speak that is safer than our homeland. And IPOB ESN has made that possible. And it's not only that we have made it possible, it is our duty. It is our duty to continue to ensure that our land is safe for our people to return home and carry out their businesses and live their life. The Igbo diaspora in the zoo, those of you especially who have now learned, although in a very disappointing and hard way, that Nigeria is not for you. IPOB is here to tell you tonight that you have a home. You have a home, and your home is patiently waiting for your return. The homeland of Biafra is waiting for your return and expecting, or rather very expectant, that you will bring that and those development you have used in developing other nations, that wisdom, that gift, that special endowment from heaven that you all have used to develop other parts of the other people's land. Also, our land is expectant that you will come home and make our land a place of joy and happiness, a place that is developed in standard comparable to any in the world, if not better. In this vein, therefore, the IPOB leadership is tonight asking every person that at the moment is stationed in the area called Law Banta in Abia State. We understand that that place called Law Banta is called a cattle market. Yes, cattle market. Cattle is good, but we have a very pressing, more important need for that land for our people who will be returning home from other parts of the zoo. Law Banta will be designated, in fact, is tonight designated as the site for a modern trade fair center in Biafra land. In fact, when I say modern trade fair center, this place is not going to be a market that is, when we talk about market, we sometimes in our minds, we think about, very urgently put up, structures, batches, and all the rest. No, that is not our idea. Because any structure that we begin, or we midwife in Biafra land, from this very moment will be a structure that people will come and look at it, and they will say, yes, indeed, these are people who are blessed with anything that a man or a woman or a human being can be blessed with. What I'm therefore saying is that Law Banta, having been designated from tonight as a place where a very, very humongous modern trade center will be erected in conjunction with the newly elected government in Abia State. I am asking the leadership of the trade fair market, let's say the leaders of the Biafran people in Lagos, those who are doing their business in Trade Fair Lagos, your leadership must put themselves together and send a delegation to the newly elected governor of Abia State. You send a delegation to him and make a formal request for Law Banta to be made available for a construction of a modern trade fair center. If in the course of this communication with the governor you encounter any problem, please do not hesitate to communicate with IPOB leadership, and we will do the rest. This trade fair center, in fact, the architecture of it will also be one that should be agreed upon unanimously between the market leaders, IPOB leadership, and of course, the state government of Abia State. Other markets like Ladipo Market, Mushi Market, what do you call them? The spare parts market in Lagos. Your leadership as well should put yourself together and enter into a conversation or communication with the Anambra State governor, the present governor of Anambra State, that is Chukwuma Soludo. We have Newi, we have Onitsha. You have to just make your choice, and either the existing markets will be expanded tremendously, or a second part of what we call a second area or land will be made available to construct also a modern market for these people in Ladipo, Mushi, and those who are specifically dealing on spare parts business. Now, another issue that is happening in the zoo, which is also a result of their misguided selection process, is the upcoming census that they are planning that will take place. Of course, we understand. We heard that they are hoping, or they are intending to postpone this coming census. But that is not our concern, whether they postpone the census or whether they hold it tomorrow. Our concern is the message I'm going to pass on to Biafrans tonight. And that message is a very direct one. Any day that the zoo decides, if we are still within its enclave as part of the zoo, but I am hoping as well that they will not carry out this census anymore, or they will carry it out after Biafrans have left the zoo, and they can count themselves and know how many they are. But we will not be just hoping. We will look forward, look ahead of it. And in that sense, in that regard, any day that they choose to do this census, this count of those who inhabit the zoological republic of the damnable contraption called Nigeria, Biafrans, wherever you may be in that part, apart from Biafra land, wherever you may be in any part of the zoo, you must head homewards. You must head homewards. Somebody was telling me, even when we hear before they even conclude and say census, we already will be preparing our bags to head home, where we must be counted. We must be counted in Biafra land if this census ever takes off the ground, or if they ever decide to carry it out. And because of this, we will bring out jingles. We will bring out jingles to inform our people all over zoo, for them to know the importance of adhering to these very directives when and whenever the zoo decides to count its inhabitants. They must know that the politics of census they will use Biafrans to continue to do politics of census anymore. We will go in our land, and if they wish, if we are still with them, if we are still part of the zoo at that time, we will go into our lands and be counted. I'm not saying you should stay where you are and don't come out. No, you must head home. You must head home as if it were the time of Christmas, when, of course, majority of us also head home, families and, of course, relatives. So this message will continue to be made available to our people until, of course, we are assured or we are certain that the objective has been achieved. There is something that many of you who may have been listening, or those who listened from the time our leader was extraordinarily and wickedly and criminally renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria. I can remember that one of my first broadcasts, I harped upon the very underlying key principles of what, propels us, what has made us what we are and who we are. I said that IPOB is built upon the principle of command and control. And this command and control has been the tool which our leader has used to unite us, to build us, and to make us what we are today. And IPOB leadership cannot jettison this very principle. But behind the policy of command and control, the issue of discipline, Oyendu has also always harped upon the leadership and the led to be disciplined, because the course we are pursuing is one that without discipline, we will go the path of many that have come before us, not only as it concerns us as a people, not only as it concerns our struggle for a free Biafran nation, but as it concerns other nations around the world, those who have the desire to be free, but along the line, they could not reach their objective because they did not place worth on discipline. Command and control and discipline, they are two key elements for the truly hardcore IPOB family members, those who have remained faithful, those who have followed our leader from 2012. Let me start from 2012. From 2012 up to this very year we are in, up to this very night. Those of you who have remained unwavering, focused, dedicated, very, very determined, you have exemplified in your actions that you understood what command and control and discipline is all about, that you have understood what role these two very key elements have played in our lives and in our struggle. And I want to enjoin you to continue on that part, because it shall no longer be long. And the trumpet will blow. The trumpet will blow to the glory of Chukwu Abiyama, and the joy and gladness that will exude from Biafrans will be one that has not been seen before. But we are therefore asking all of you to remain as fit, as focused as you have always been. Do not let yourself be distracted by those who have been sent for the singular reason to distract us, to try to derail us, to redirect our course, and our IPOB family members must remember and always bear in mind that, as Onyendu always said, it is we who determines the agenda upon which the zoo must walk, not the other way around. We cannot be dictated to on what to do or the agenda to follow. Therefore, it's very imperative and very paramount that for us not to allow ourselves to be dictated to. We must have our eyes on the ball. There is nothing else this leadership is pursuing, nothing else than to ensure that Onyendu is back with us and to ensure that Biafra comes. There is no third or any extraneous matter that concerns us, that takes our time, that occupies our thoughts and our minds. These two issues is what we think about day and night. And even though you may not hear our voices, like I said, we are walking according as the spirits of heaven directs and leads us. You can also remember, I am speaking very, very, I'll be quoting Onyendu professionally this very night, because his messages are like yesterday. His messages are like yesterday. And he always tell us that timing is key to what we do as freedom fighters. Timing. You may have a very wonderful idea, suggestion, but the timing may not be proper to implement, to carry it out. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because there are actions that have taken place in Biafra land that has cost us a lot. It cost us blood. It cost the lives of our people. And not only that, it took us a couple of months backwards to where we were before. And I can assure all of you that such actions are deliberately set up in order to delay our march to freedom. But my joy is, even though we mourn those we have lost, my joy is that the enemy has forgotten that this very movement is not being propelled by a man or a woman born by a woman. This very movement, you see us You hear us. You know our leader, Onyemazi Namkanu. Yes. You know members of DOS. Yes. We are the face. That's correct. But the hand propelling this movement is something that many who are not in spirit cannot fathom, cannot understand. That is the reason. Somebody may wake up one day and begin to say, everywhere is too quiet. My goodness me. Everywhere is too quiet. Yeah. And therefore you believe you can raise dust, and you go out of your way in an indisciplined manner to cause havoc to what we are doing. Our people say in our language, for those who do not understand the Igbo language, it is our culture. We believe that each, in fact, it's not just we, but I will focus on Biafrans. It is our belief that every one of us has a guiding spirit. And when you move ahead of your guiding spirit, then you leave yourself unguided, and you leave yourself open to the attack of those who hate you, who are envious of you, who are jealous of you, who do not want anything good out of you, and who wish you downfall. We must learn that this movement, as Soyindu has already, physically on this very platform, done what was asked of him and handed it over to heaven, to Chukwuabiyama. We, those whom he left temporarily to be in charge, we cannot go back. We will not go back from that decision and action that he has taken. And that is why we continue to let ourselves be guided by heaven. That is why we continue to let ourselves be guided by the spirits that guide our land, and of course by the spirit of our ancestors. And I can assure you, as we continue in this path, that is my confidence that Biafra is around the corner. That is my confidence that our leader rejoining us is just a matter of time, and he will rejoin us. And we will continue together to march homewards to our homeland, which is Biafra. It is because of these rogue actions that has its root from indiscipline that I am going to address people in Biafra land tonight on a matter that has also been brought to our attention. And that is to say that the IPOB leadership has not approved any form of protest by our mothers, our wives, or our women in Biafra land. Whether this protest is being planned tomorrow or today or in the future, this is not approved by this leadership. And anyone who is intending to come out to do a protest in Biafra land must sign that plan and of course, do away with that decision. Prayer for our leader, of course, yes. Prayer for Onyendu in Biafra land, yes. But not rallies. And no protest is authorized. Onyendu himself has passed time without number. Message through our legal representatives that Biafra land must be calm. It must be calm. And we have been able to bring Biafra land to a reasonable calmness. And this will afford us to focus on those things that is important for our liberation and for the freedom of our leader. Therefore, those that are spiritually discerning will understand that truly Chukwu Okike Abiama is the one directing our feet, directing our actions, and of course, directing our thoughts. And all tailored and geared towards ensuring that the children of heaven, that we regain our freedom in order that we may worship Chukwu Okike in all truth and in all honesty. So, when Onyendu says that Biafran restoration is a divine project, he knows what he's talking about. And I want all of you tonight as well to bear that in mind. Don't run faster than your shadow. There is a leadership in place. And that leadership is working not only directly with what Onyendu has put in place. We know what he wants us to do. We know the actions he wants us to take, because he taught us and he placed us here. And above all, we are guided by heaven, because this is a heavenly project. The time of the zoo selection has come and gone. Many of you, many of our people who decided, who thought that there could be, perchance, there could be an alternative to freeing our people, through going through the corrupted political election process of the zoo. Many thought that, why not give it a try? And for us, because, like I said, it is not by the power of, it is not by our power. Heaven will allow you to make a mistake. And when you have realized your mistake, you seek back the face of heaven and seek for proper direction on a particular issue or in a particular matter that concerns you. Those who were of that opinion, you were let freely to pursue to a logical conclusion that you believe. And I'm sure that by now, many of you will have seen the handwriting on the wall. I am sure that by now, many of you will be wondering, why did I in the first place even, why did I thought it wise to give the zoo a chance? Many of you were broken by the result of what has come out of that journey that you embarked upon. IPOB is a big family. It's and Biafra that we are pursuing is for all Biafrans. It is based on that I am this evening asking all Biafrans must queue behind the leader of this great movement. All Biafrans, without exception, whether you are a politician or you are an academia, or you are a student, whatever you may be, it is time. The time has come for every one of us to queue behind the supreme leader of this great movement, Mazi Chika Edoziem, and of course, to work and stand with IPOB as we pilot this project and as we lead our people from the quagmire that is the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, from the contraption where we have been dehumanized, where we have been treated worse than they treat a dog in this Western world, where a place that those of you who thought that this is your land, have rejected you. That land, that place you thought you belong to, you have seen very, very clearly it's rejecting you. And like our saying goes again, those or the person that has been rejected cannot reject him or herself. And we know who we are. Your enemy knows who you are. How long can you continue to wallow in indecision and continue to dissipate your energy in pursuing a marriage? Because Nigeria, those who are thinking that there will ever be a one Nigeria, they are pursuing a marriage. It can never happen. It has never happened, and it will never happen. And the IPOB is here to expedite that from becoming reality, that one Nigeria never happened and will never happen. In our good-heartedness, I am therefore asking all of you, all Biafrans, to join hands with the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra. But before you join us, one condition: we are not asking you to join us to come and bring indiscipline into this movement. If you are incapable of being disciplined, stay on the sideline and watch us. Watch us lead you to Biafra land, and there the land will cure you of your indiscipline. I am not joking as I'm saying this tonight. Yes, our doors, we are making it open. We are welcoming Biafrans who have seen that there is no hope. What we have, of course, we have seen it more than a decade ago. Those who have seen it decades ago as well. And they have spoken. They have continued one way or the other to alert our people that there is only one option for the Biafran people. There is only one option and one hope of us continue to be a people, and that option and that hope is Biafra and in Biafra. A free, independent, and sovereign Biafran nation where our people will learn love themselves and love who they are and what Chukwokike has done for them. So as I am asking all of you to queue behind our leader tonight, as I am asking all of you to queue behind the present leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, the Directorate of State, as I am asking all of you to be part of this movement, for all of us to make the history together, I am also telling you now from the onset that our main guiding principles, two elements that propel us, that in fact determine our actions, determine everything that we do is the policy or the principle of command and control. If you are incapable of taking instructions, IPOB is not for you. I know, of course, it is part of our DNA, but we are in a very critical and crucial moment where we must abandon our individualism for the moment for the benefit of the collective. We must abandon our individualism at this very moment in our cause for liberation for the benefit of the collective, that is the Biafran people. Every action that the leadership has taken in the past, every action that we are taking in the present, every action that we are going to take in the future, our guiding principle and our motivation is not just to ensure that those who died, that they did not die in vain, that those who paid the ultimate price, those who laid down their lives, those who, while on their deathbed, lying on their hospital or deathbed, they were telling those around them, do not disappoint us, do not give up, do not stop until Biafra is restored. These heroes and heroines whom we are going to remember on the 30th of May of this year, they are our motivation. They are those to whom our loyalty and, of course, our dedication, that we owe our loyalty and our dedication to. But above all, or in addition to being motivated by the sacrifices of our heroes and heroines, we are being also propelled by the hunger, by the desire, by the let me say, it's, in fact, it's not a wish, but by natural instincts to work for the benefit of the Biafran people. Every action that we have taken so far, what we consider, what we ask ourselves as leadership for IPOB is, or part of the questions that we ask ourselves include, how will that action that we're going to take benefit the Biafran people? How will it benefit our people, whether in Biafra land or outside of Biafra land? And how will that action bring honor to those who have died and encourage, above all, how will our action encourage men and women on the ground who have made it possible for the relative peace we have in Biafra land to be there, who are, as I speak to you, are in the bushes, guarding our borders, guarding our land. And I have not heard for a while now any complaint of anybody going to the farm and being chased away or attacked by the terrorist Fulani headmen. These unsung achievements that men who have sacrificed, who have given up everything to ensure that it becomes a reality. Every action that we take that action to make sure we encourage them to continue on the path that they have chosen and continue to safeguard our land, to continue to safeguard our people, to continue to safeguard our borders. And what will be you as a Biafran, what will be your part? Your part is to support them. Support them in your prayers. Support them when you pour libations to our ancestors and to our land. Support them when you go into your churches and pray to Chukwu Abiyama. You put them in prayer. You put them in your thoughts. And above all, you support them in any other manner that will make their work to be less hazardous and less tedious. We are wise men and women because we are from the loins of Chukwu Abiyama. And Adabaka Achuifena Talo, that is also an Igbo adage. It cannot ordinarily you don't go, a hunter does not go into the bush to hunt an animal with his bare hands. Occasions may arise where he may have to fight with bare hands, yes. But when he set out, or when they set out for that expedition, they do not set out with their bare hands. ESN was set up by a leader, and they were properly equipped, and they should continue to be properly equipped for them to be able to do their work and safeguard our land, and of course, safeguard our people and safeguard our mothers who go to the farms to do their farming business. Wonderful Biafrans, men and women of goodwill that are listening to me tonight. One thing you have to take from this very tonight broadcast is that there is no alternative to the restoration of Biafra. There is no alternative to a free, independent, and sovereign Biafran nation. There is no alternative to a people living in freedom and liberty. And there is no alternative for us, the Biafran people, apart from doubling our efforts, especially at this tail end of this very journey. We must not let our guards down. We must not in any manner feel complacent. We must not have the laissez-faire attitude as it concerns this very important course that we are pursuing. We must refocus, re-energize, and redirect our energy to that singular objective, which is to free our people from physical slavery and mental degradation as well. There is something I have to say here, and I'm going to be just very brief to that. The Biafran people and the IPOB leadership, in our interactions with the international community, in our engagement with nations across the globe, whether it is in the East, in the West, in the North or the South, our propelling motivation will be to protect the interest of the Biafran people and the interest of the Biafran nation. We will engage every nation, irrespective of whatever nation, that whatever anybody may think about that nation. We will engage every nation from the east, from the west, from the south, from the north, as long as that nation recognizes that there will be a mutual benefit for them and for us, Biafrans, as a people. We will no longer continue on the path that has never brought us anything. For hundreds of years, if I will go that far back, or just say for 100 years, we have in fact pursued one line of engagement, and this line of engagement has brought us only sorrow, blood, and death. It has brought our people nothing but deprivation. It has brought our people nothing but daily massacres on the streets of Biafra land. It has destroyed the hard-earned means of livelihood of our people and their property. And you would think that these nations that tell us they have our interests at heart, you would think that they will come out and condemn these barbaric attacks on our people. But no, none lifts a finger, none opens their mouth. What they will nonsense they will continue to tell us is your strength is in your diversity. Whatever nonsense that statement means, you know, they recognize that you're diverse, that you're different, that you are like water and oil that cannot mix. And they are all still telling you, ironically, that your differences is your strength. Does it make any sense to all of you? How long will you allow yourself to be cajoled and be deceived? Our interest must be paramount in anything we do from this night going forward. And like I said, there are things not needed that I do not need to speak about here. But you will be seeing the results of our engagements as we go on and as time goes by. We are not leaving any stone unturned to make sure that our people are truly and consciously free in a land that they call their own, in a land that they will be free, in a land that they can use their intellect and their endowments to make a land that can be and will be spoken about in a very positive manner amongst the Committee of Nations. There is nothing else that we are looking for, if not for the well-being of our people and for the freedom of our people. That is what this leadership is looking at. That is what this leadership is focused on. That is what is propelling us. And that is what will continue to propel us until we reach our destination. I have a few announcements to make tonight. I'm sure my message is clear tonight. I do not need to overburden them. First of all is that our 30th of May is coming. And of course, 30th of May is our Heroes and Heroines Remembrance Day, where we will honor their sacrifices with a total lockdown of the length and breadth of Biafra land on that very day. And of course, with prayer to heaven and to our ancestors and thanksgiving on behalf of our leader, Mazi Chika Edoziem, for Chukwu Okike having kept him and brought him back to us to continue on the job that he has been mandated to carry out. Now again, our people in the diaspora, the Zoo diaspora, I mean here, it is time. We will probably not be happy on this at every given opportunity or at every given time, but be it known tonight that it has become an official project of IPOB Directorate of State to make sure our people will look homewards and move down to Biafra land. That is where all that you're looking for outside, you have more than double of that in our land. It is a land that is blessed, beautiful, very, very beautiful land that we cannot begin to imagine the beauty that is hidden in that place. That is why they do not want us to go there to be able to discover these things. But I am elated because this is a battle that is already won in heaven, and it is about to manifest in the spiritual. Again, tonight, I asked those market leaders in Lagos, especially those in trade fair, to make effort as soon as the, in fact, before then, as a matter of fact, make efforts and get in touch with the Abia State newly elected governor and enter into a conversation as to how best to utilize Law Panta, which is designated as a site for a modern edifice that will be put there as a trade fair center, about trade fair center, if you like, or if you want to call it that. But this is what has to be done ASAP. Other market leaders in Lagos, Ladipo, Munshi, spare parts market, gather your leadership together and also get in touch with the Anambra State governor. And please, when you engage them, if you have any difficulty in your discussions, do not hesitate to contact the IPOB leadership for us to, for three of us, or for the leadership of IPOB, the market leaders, and the government on the ground in Biafra land, in these states, for them to understand that, yes, it is time for us to begin to walk the walk and not only talk the talk. Now, again, the zoo, they are planning for population counting, or what they call census. This is good for them. But for the Biafrans, the message is this: anytime they decide on the date of that census, each and every one of you in the zoo must head down to Biafra land. That is where you are born. That is where you come from. That is where you will be counted, because the past months and events have shown without a doubt that they have told us in an uncertain manner that we should go back home. So we must begin to do that from now on. And as well, I have said that it is time. It is no longer the hour to stand on the defense, to stand in the middle, to stand on the side and watch. No, It is now the hour for everyone to put hands together, to pull our resources and our energies together and stand behind the leader of this great movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am saying this with all sense of responsibility, that it is time for every Biafran to queue behind the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra, the Directorate of State. And while you come, while you queue behind us, take with you a little patience and inculcate in yourself this discipline that is key to what we are doing and very pivotal to our success. And of course, bear in mind that you're not joining a meeting of Omuna or a village meeting. You are joining a worldwide freedom movement. And there are modus of operation. We have a modus operandi. We have a process. And you can come if you are disciplined enough to be part of this process. You are welcome. My announcements tonight goes this way. There is our family in Suriname. Pay very good attention, please. You must pay very good attention to this very announcement tonight. But first of all, I call on the former national coordinator and his former deputy national coordinator, Mazi Walter Ofebu, the former national coordinator of IPOB in Suriname, and Mazi Chukwu Ezi Echina, who was also the former deputy national coordinator. Both of you, please, every property of the indigenous people of Biafra in your possession, every property of ESN that is in your possession, do not allow that to continue to be in your possession within the next 72 hours. I repeat myself, Mazi Walter Ofebu and Mazi Chukwu Ezi Echina. Both of you, former national coordinator and deputy national coordinator, respectively, of IPOB family in Suriname. You, please, if they are not listening, the family in Suriname, make sure they hear this message so that they will not say that they did not hear. They have 72 hours from tonight to return every IPOB family property in their care to the IPOB family in Suriname, and as well, every property of the ESN in their care, they must return it within the next 72 hours, or else, well, if they don't return ESN property, ESN have a liberty to go and look for their property from them and those who are them. I am not making a threat. I am telling you what will happen. Return every property of IPOB in your care to IPOB in Suriname. And then to the family in Suriname, you have this authorization tonight to re-strategize and gather yourself together and re-strengthen the family there. The continental rep, the South American IPOB continental rep, Mazi Nachi, is available to guide you properly and help you to reestablish yourself and to follow in accordance with our fundamental objectives and principles. Please, this is very important. Now, there is, we have a new leadership in Asia. The continental rep for the Asia family, who is already working with his deputy, who they were already appointed for some time, but I haven't had the time to make these announcements. But tonight, I want to announce to the family in Asia and IPOB worldwide that Mazi Charles Opanwa is the new continental rep for IPOB Asia family, while Mazi Obasnachi is his deputy continental rep. Please, every IPOB family in Asia, every principal officer in Asia must accord them the respect and, of course, the support that is due to the office to enable them function effectively and efficiently in their new service to the Biafran people and the Biafran nation. In Bayelsa State, the IPOB leadership in Bayelsa State is from tonight dissolved. The leadership of IPOB in Bayelsa State is dissolved. Why is it dissolved? For the past months, I think even more than 12 months now or thereabout, the person in the person of the Grubia coordinating Bayelsa State has gone AWOL. He has abdicated his position. In fact, he did more than abdicating his position, but that is a different case or different matter altogether. But what is important tonight is to tell the family in Biafra land and in Bayelsa State that from this very evening, Igrubia and his executive cease to act as the representatives of IPOB led by Martin Namdekano in Bayelsa State. The reorganization of Bayelsa State will be done after this very broadcast. We will kickstart the reorganization of that very end and make sure that we bring the family together to join. You can imagine the whole the whole 11 states or thereabout that made the Biafran territory. Now, only Bayelsa State has been wanting. Let me put it that way, for a better word to use, and that cannot continue to happen. We cannot allow that to continue because that may end up, infecting those or other states that are working very hard and working assiduously for this very project. So, people in Bayelsa State, we will work directly with you on the ground and make sure that the family is re-established and rejoins in the activities of this very great movement. Great Biafrans, I thank you for listening tonight. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra for us is not just a land. Biafra is not just our heritage. Biafra is our being. It is more than our religion. And without Biafra, we are nothing. Without Biafra, we and our children and children yet to be born, we have no hope. Therefore, it is a duty incumbent upon all of us to ensure that our children that have been born and those yet to be unborn, that they have hope. And how do we do that? We will do that by ensuring that Biafra is a free nation, an independent nation, a sovereign nation, handling its matters and entering into relationships, unilateral or bilateral, as the case may be, with the other nations of the world. Therefore, in all that we do, we must continue unceasingly to put Onyendu in our prayers. In all that we do, we must not cease to hand him over to Chukwu Abiyama, that he may continue to guide him, strengthen him, lay his healing hand upon him. All the sicknesses that the enemy is causing our leader, they think that we do not know. We know. And their disappointment, we know how disappointed they are because all their objectives have fallen. They have yielded no result, and they will never yield any result, because Chukwu Okike is one that is protecting man and not man. And all that the enemy will do to harm him will return to the enemy, those who think, those who talk, those who plan any evil against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu while he is in the hand of the enemy. Anyone who is by they support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but behind them they will go and walk against him. I say, may all the it's not and therefore every evil that you think against him shall come to that person as meaningful as is possible, while they continue to preserve and bring him back to us, for us to continue to reach our destination together. I want to say from here, great Biafrans, thank you for listening, and remain steadfast, remain focused, remain devoted, remain very loyal to our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to the leadership that Onyendu put in place. We didn't put ourselves here. Remain loyal to this very, very hardcore men that have withstand and we continue to withstand all that the enemy has thrown against us. You know, there is a confusion in their midst at the moment, but I wouldn't help them in any manner. I'm not going to help them by trying to, help them decipher how they can come out of that confusion. They will continue to wallow in that confusion. But what they have tried to do, in the sense of trying to, first of all, they took our leader. You remember everybody. They took our leader, and the idea was take the leader, and then take the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. And they forgot that yes, Onyendu is the supreme leader, but there is a force, there is a hand that is propelling him. And if they took Onyendu as they took him, they thought that this hand that is with Onyendu will now abandon his children. No, heaven did not abandon us. That is their confusion. That is the quagmire they have found themselves. And not only they took Onyendu, things continue to move. They attacked every major pillar of this very movement. The leadership, they are still attacking the leadership. And all the efforts have come to nothing, and it will all come to nothing. As I said, if you don't carry anything, you fall down, you will not pour anything on the ground. That is simple. We are here pursuing this very struggle in all truth and in all honesty, guided not by our own power, guided not by we think, no, you cannot do it. It is not by the power that you see yourself possessing as a man. Yes, you are endowed with physical power, but then you have to walk in consonance with the spiritual before you achieve anything in this physical. And with that, I want to tell you that do not in any manner be despaired, despite the challenges, despite the attacks that we may be receiving. We are unmovable. This leadership is not going anywhere. Rather, we are forging ahead and we are making progress, especially as it concerns friends in the international community. May Chukwu Abiyama be with all of you tonight and as always. May heaven smile on all of you tonight and always. And may Chukwu Okike and our ancestors continue to protect our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We pray and we ask that within the shortest period of time, he will rejoin us. And within the shortest period of time, Biafra shall be a free and independent nation. From me, from here, I want to say to you, good night, and may Chukwu Okike and the land of Biafra bless and keep all of you. Ise, 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 and Ise.